You probably know that I'm a huge fan of Twitter marketing, and I have a huge following, so marketing is easier for me. But my guess is that some of you don't have many followers and are still looking for Twitter marketing success. So the big question is there a Twitter marketing strategy that you can use and have success with, even if you don't have many followers? And that is what today's Twitter marketing lesson is all about. A Twitter marketing strategy that does not care whether you have one follower or 1,000 followers. You can still succeed no matter how big your audience. So let's start. Today, I give you a Twitter marketing strategy that some big name brands have used in the past and are still using. I'm going to show you what it takes for you to pull off the same strategy without a huge budget. And I will also show you some examples to give you an impression how you can set it all up. Before I get right into the strategy, I want to answer some questions and address some doubts some of you are probably having right now. And one of the things I can hear you saying right now is, well, without any followers and without advertising, you don't have any reach on Twitter. But the thing is, with this strategy, you don't need any reach. And that's really the secret to this strategy. And the second doubt I can hear you saying is, that you don't have much time and you can't sit at your computer and do Twitter all day long. And the thing again is, once you have set up the strategy, you don't need much time. It can really be done in a couple of minutes per day, and that's how great this strategy is. I promised you an example, and I'm talking about Hilton hotels. And before you now jump on Twitter and visit the Hilton account, I have to tell you that they stopped using this Twitter strategy, not because the strategy isn't working anymore, but because the hotel niche is hit very hard by the pandemic. And since nobody was traveling anymore, this strategy didn't work for them anymore. And they are doing something else now. I'm curious if they will do this again in the future. So if you want to look at the Hilton account and see how they did the strategy, you have to go back to before spring 2020. And you will find the strategy and you can easily see what they have been doing. I wanted to make things easier for you, and that's why I took some screenshots from the Twitter account of the Hilton Hotels in winter 2020 before the pandemic hit. And you can easily see what they tweeted. It was all about travel tips. Like, we can make a few recommendations. What part of town will you need to be in? Or these are all great choices. We have a lot of festivals and events. They give you tips in the towns where there is a Hilton hotel. That's all they do. So, what do they actually do on Twitter? All their tweets are replies. They don't attempt to sell anything. That's really rare. Usually, they just respond to tweets from travelers on Twitter and answer questions about travel, visiting a city, visiting any location. They give travel tips, and for that, you don't need any followers. These travelers are usually not following you anyway, and that's not the point. You want to talk to people at the right time when they are traveling. So, what do they actually do to pull off this strategy? They set up keyword searches and monitor the searches and all the tweets that contain the searches, and then they answer relevant tweets. That's all. There isn't any big secret to this strategy. This is all. Now, I can hear you saying, sounds great, but Hilton is a big brand. They have the money, they have the manpower. So, what about you? How can you set this strategy up for your Twitter marketing? What do you really need to set up this strategy? You need a search function, a really good search function. And that's called Twitter Advanced Search. You can find it on Twitter, you can use it for free, and it has almost unlimited options for searches. And the second thing you need is a tool that allows you to efficiently monitor search feeds. And multiple search feeds in one place, because you don't really want to search every time you want to look if a new tweet to a search came in. You want to have all your search feeds at one glance. And the tool you need is called TweetDeck. It's a Twitter client and it's totally free to use for everyone. So, two tools, no costs, and you're good to go. Twitter has a more powerful search than the little search bar you all know and have probably used in the past. You can find Twitter Advanced Search by following the link, or you can just type any search into the search bar and then click on the three dots beside the search bar, and the drop-down menu will show you the Twitter Advanced Search. And once you get there, you get a form for many search parameters, and actually there are even more search operators you can use than the form shows. So Twitter Advanced Search is really, really powerful, and it will help you to search for a lot of very specific things on Twitter. Let's for a second go back to the hotel example we started with and think about the searches that make sense for this niche. It's tweets in a city which is probably not specific enough, but you can combine the tweets in a specific location with where should I go for dinner, or restaurant recommendations, or places to eat. You can also search for where do I need to go, or places to visit in a specific town. You can ask where people should stay, or just visiting a city. Just be creative and brainstorm some searches for your niche and set up search feeds, and then monitor the tweets that come in, and you can adjust from there and get better. But you don't want to monitor just one search. You want to monitor multiple keyword and key phrases searches in one place. And I already mentioned the tool TweetDeck, because this tool allows you to monitor a feed for each of the search phrases or searches that you set up. This way, you can easily see at one glance the new tweets that have come in that are connected to a search. And you can easily see and decide if you want to answer them. Let's put the Twitter conversation strategy together. Start with, who do you want to connect to? What are they talking about on Twitter? That's what you want to search for. Now you have to think about keywords and key phrases that are relevant to the people you want to connect to, that they are using. Brainstorm more than one keyword or phrase. The longer the list, the better. Now you have to set up the keyword searches and key phrase searches in TweetDeck. These tasks you have to do only once. After that, you have to monitor, change, and optimize the keywords until you find the best conversations. And now it's up to you. Join the conversation, answer questions, give advice, give information. Just talk to people, connect to them when they are most interested in what you have to offer. So far, we have only looked at one example, a hotel. But there are more use cases for this strategy. And to give you an idea how valuable and how many different niches can profit from this strategy, let's take a look at some examples. Let's talk about a car dealer. This is actually an example from one of our consulting clients, and he was so happy with this strategy that he sent us more clients. A car dealer is operating locally, and he's looking for prospects, and he can't really do with building a following because people are buying a car every couple of years. So what you really want is connect to the people at exactly the time when they are looking for a new car. And people are looking for advice about cars online. They are looking for car brands recommendations. They are tweeting, I want to buy a new car. I am looking for a car dealer, something like that. And you also want to combine that with your location, with your city, but in a big city, even more specific with a radius around your location because, well, I'm living in Berlin and I'm not really going to drive through the whole town to just talk to a car dealer. So, what about a one person business like a tour guide in a city? Looking for people he can show around. And it works really like Hilton Hotels only for one place, one city, and you can use similar searches or at least some of the searches that are also relevant for a hotel. Go for what to do in Berlin and places to visit in Berlin, how can I see the most places when visiting Berlin? Which places should I visit in Berlin? Something like that. You get the idea. And he can talk to people and find new clients. Here's an example more close to home. How about a marketing blogger or a blogger? That's me. I'm using this strategy to talk to people on Twitter. I've set up my tweet deck to searches like start a blog, get more traffic from Twitter, get more traffic from Pinterest, how to use certain features on any social network. You can really set up hundreds of search feeds and just see what's coming in and talk to people. Now it is up to you. You can start your own Twitter strategy with conversations today. It's easy and it's cheap. You can have it with a little effort from your end, and you don't need to build an audience first. So, what did you learn today? Here's what I hope you learned. I hope you learned that there's more than one tactic or strategy for Twitter marketing success. And I also hope that you learned you don't need much money to succeed. Twitter marketing does not have to be expensive and it does not have to take a huge amount of time. And if you want to know more about Twitter marketing, if you want to continue learning, and if you want to learn more Twitter marketing strategies, then there's a course for you. Our Twitter marketing course has it all. We included every tactic that we have used in the past in our Twitter marketing and all the processes that make Twitter one of my favorite social networks. Here's what David Bibby said about our Twitter marketing course. David Bibby was one of our first clients who participated in the course, and he said, I completely underestimated Twitter and how powerful it is. And I think he speaks for many social media users and many marketers. Many people underestimate how powerful Twitter is. And I want to show you what you can achieve with Twitter. Our Twitter marketing course is for beginner marketers as well as people who are already active on Twitter. If you want to know how you can achieve more and reach more success with Twitter marketing, our Twitter marketing course is for you. We included action plans and step-by-step processes so you have an easy time setting up your Twitter for success and following our guides. You can succeed with Twitter. We show you how we did it, and we show you how you can reach the same amount of success on Twitter. Here's another voice telling you that I know about Twitter. And yes, I do love Twitter and I understand Twitter and I like using Twitter for marketing. Twitter can be fun and Twitter can give you serious traffic and marketing success. If you want to succeed as well, let me show you how to get there. If you want to know more about the Twitter marketing course, check out all the information on this landing page where you watched this video. Just scroll down and find all the information about the Twitter marketing course below this video. Check it out. I would be really happy to welcome you to the course.